Welcome back to a new video. This video is a little bit late of getting out because my SD card reader didn't work, but thankfully I was able to get a new one out that seems to be functioning how it needs to be. So hopefully there's no further delays and I'm able just to edit kind of in real time, which is the big benefit of being on summer break is I can kind of do the workout, then either edit it that day or the very next day, but kind of keep a normal schedule as far as uploads. This workout I started out with some muscle snatches. I just went up to 70 just to kind of treat as a warm-up for snatches and just the rest of the lifts that I did. These were feeling pretty good, pretty easy, and that's what I wanted them to be. I didn't want to strain too hard on these at all. Nothing really discomfort, not too much in the hip or anything. And it's kind of nice here as getting to the actual snatch. I haven't had anything on my wrist. My wrists have been feeling really good, and I think that's one of the benefits of having to be light because of the little bit of the strain that I have, is that everything else just gets a chance to recover as well. It's not just the injury area, so it does kind of act as a deload for the other things. But it was nice with the snatches. I was able to go up to 80. I did 3 singles here. I really wanted to go up, but I knew it would be smart just to go there. I'm trying to be more conservative with the numbers that go up, because snatches always feel better than they should as far as like what my strength's at now, because I know if I was doing squats with 80 they'd probably kind of bother my hip, but I need to get my legs up to that point where they're back to normal as far as squatting, and then I can really push those numbers up, because there's not really any point to go super heavy on a snatch when my legs aren't there. And I can really feel the legs not being fully there on the clean jerks more so than on snatches. For whatever reason that is, but these were still feeling pretty good. As you saw there, I did 61 and 80, and take a little bit more time on the jerk because this is where I have the most discomfort in my hip. That little dip and drive, not the most comfortable position to be in, but I was able to go up to 100. I did 2 singles here. They didn't feel too bad at all. I didn't want to go up from here though, and once I got to these I was very glad that I was more conservative on the snatches because it allowed me to save more energy for these. Not that I need a ton of energy, because like these weights still feel light, but more so the making sure I'm not overexerting that injured area and just kind of building back to where it needs to be. It's kind of going up relatively quickly, because I did 52 kilos in the lifts yesterday or the day before, or the day prior to this workout. I wanted to do some squats, but I hadn't done any weight in the squats, so I just wanted to do the bar for a couple sets just to go through the range of motion. And I just did front squats since it was just going to be an empty bar. Just did a quick 3x5, nothing to write home about, obviously it's just a bar, but just mostly to make sure that after doing snatches and clean and jerks, if I do squats, that it's not going to flare up and make everything worse. I did these all back to back, as I will do the reverse grip rows later. Nothing was really bothering these. I was kind of glad that I was able just to kind of rep these out and not worry about discomfort with that. And that was when I first did it. It was very uncomfortable to squat at all, which is when I had that day where I didn't do any hip hinging and I just did stiff leg for everything. That was the day where I spent all of these days so much time doing like rehabs and stretching and everything, because I have all this time in the summer, and then try to do like a squat and it still hurts. It's kind of demoralizing, but it just takes time to build back. And as you see here, it looks relatively normal, and it wasn't anything that was too uncomfortable. And I knew I didn't want to add any weight, even though I probably could have, but just to go through the range of motion, and so then the next time I do a squat, it's a little bit more better, I suppose. And then at the end, I added with some stiff leg RDLs, because when I did these the other day, they felt really good. So I wanted just to keep adding them in and just kind of build strength in where you can, because I'm not going to be maxing out my squat, but I can get my hamstrings and posterior chain really strong. And honestly, I think these are just good to do in general. Even if I'm really strong in my hamstrings, it's just a good exercise to really get some good work in. And then I did some more underhand or reverse grip rows, and these are feeling really good. I pushed up from 61 to 85, and this is a weight that I'll probably stay at for a little bit, at least if I'm doing these kind of quicker sets, because they do feel a bit heavier. But I definitely get a good feeling in kind of my mid upper back, so kind of like right below my scapula slash like between my scaps, which is kind of nice. So I want to continue to do these. They're kind of it's a pretty easy movement, but I haven't really ever pushed them up. I've pushed up like Yates rows and stuff like that, but these are kind of interesting because I have never, it's probably the heaviest I've gone with the reverse grip. And with regular rows, I feel like I just end up cheating them too much with these. I think I'm more cautious because of the reverse grip to make sure that I'm not, I guess, using my arms too much, but like you are kind of bending it, but just trying to do it with proper form and not trying to do anything too wonky with it. But yeah, just good progress, moving in the right direction, and just continuing to chip away and to get back to being better and trying to do all the mobility and the recovery stuff to hopefully continue to progress in the right direction. But things are moving in the right way. I do have some of my materials for my new platform, and I need to wait for wood because I was gonna just rent a truck from Home Depot to pick up the wood myself, but they don't have any trucks available, so I have to have it delivered here, and that's kind of annoying because it costs $80, but that car is not big enough, nor do they have trucks, and I don't feel like driving there with the hopes that there might be a truck available and then have to drive back. And it was just like, I'm not going to worry about it. It's one of the nice things of having a full-time job is, $80 is still annoying to have to spend on something that you could just take care of yourself, but you can, and it's not gonna ruin your life. But I have the rest of the materials coming out Monday, so I'll have the wood, and once I have the wood, I had just got the rubber pieces and the screws, so I'll have that all together, and it should be a pretty quick build. I might try to make a separate video with the build of the platform, so I guess you can see what it will look like when I'm installing it, but it should be a pretty quick and hopefully pretty easy process. I mean, it's just stacking wood and lining everything up. The only thing that I might have issues with is the length of the wood. My whole platform to the, from where that little wall is behind me to the shelf is like just under 8 feet. So I don't know if the wood will be precisely 8 feet, or hopefully maybe it's a little bit short, but I might have to trim a little bit of that off, or adjust how I have it there. So I don't know, we'll have to see about that, because the wood I got is 4x8 as far as feet, and so I will have to see how that feels. But the rubber that I have feels fantastic as far as the density of it, so it should be super durable, and I should be able just to throw weights on the ground, which is really nice, because the rubber mats I have there, they're not spongy at all, so they don't absorb any of the energy. They just kind of deaden the weight a little bit. But hopefully I'll be able to do that, and I have a really nice platform for years to come. But anywho, that's it for this one. I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.